Hey, you remember when
the inner part, the blue shirt thing, has its own distinct white collar. That hood is a white and black mixed hood, and the hood is more connected to the jacket part. But his pants are... This is...
It's Germany, guys.
Oh,
stickers are important, Brian.
Also, someone making a joke about his pants being secure, that reminded me of...
Yen said, come on,
you making that pants secure joke reminded me, Lisa is a bad, pretentious game, but a funny thing in that game, you can get an item, the badass belt buckle, on its description. This motherfucker keeps these pants secure as fuck. I love that item description.
Who's ready for Yen Sid to throw down in Kingdom Hearts 3?
No, he's just gonna be paid DLC.
Man. That's just it. Yen Sid's not a master anymore.
Because of your previous endeavor.
No, he's just gonna be paid DLC.
Eric says something like, he's a master no more.
Just like
which implies that he can't use a keyblade.
Just like how Axel and Riku's stories are going to be paid for you.
Can we also...
Again, I basically told Sean, best options for Master of Masters was either Brig, a character we don't think could possibly be such, and a character that actually hasn't appeared on screen. I personally would not be surprised if it was Ansem somehow. But if it was not Ansem, then I'm perfectly fine with it being Brig. People I'm not fine with it being, to be honest, Kasara and Riku.
That'd be dumb.
Okay,
in terms of Lushu, though, I would be fine if Lushu turned out to be either Sara or Ben.
That is correct.
Okay, everyone, place your bets.
What about Ienzo?
And as far as worst options for Lushu, really anybody else.
Nobodies will be using their own path.
Okay,
because if it was anybody else, I'm gonna have shit ton of questions.
Man, what was Marluxia? He basically has Lush in his name.
Lush.
He's just missing an ooh.
He has Lush in his name.
It's a... This whole thing is just a confusing mess.
Wait, you know, he
said...
back to... Well, and my problem is, with any of that, is that we keep getting told the Master of Masters is not in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we all know that's bullshit.
But what if Lushu is?
We sure do appreciate the help.
So what if it's not the Master of Masters is somebody we know, but Lushu is?
That would be the worst thing.
What was the point of that creepy grin and the teleport away?
Oh,
my goodness, what's that?
How did you people not notice this before?
Haven't we seen this somewhere before? Yes, dear. I wonder whose it was. Oh, Malefa!
As a joke,
I mustn't remember her name. Oh dear.
And because they remembered her, she comes back to life.
Mean old witch. Oh,
However that works.
the memories are coming back. What'll we do? Oh.
Why does this work? I don't know.
Actually, that's something good with the movie.
Ah, fair enough.
But...
In that video, this is basically Kingdom Hearts made a joke, and Maleficent, who thinks she's the main villain for some reason.
Oh, I did see that video.
Yeah.
And also,
the video was great.
Also, didn't it first? Fuck, I cannot remember. What's the movie Maleficent's from? Is it Sleeping Beauty?
Yeah.
Didn't the three like fairies? Didn't they were the ones that, like, enchanted the sword so it could actually kill her, so why don't they just recite that same thing and basically cap a bitch right here?
So how this works?
I mean, according to Kingdom Hearts lore, that didn't work. Because you beat her, and then she gets back up and says, "Look, I'm done."
Howdy, Sora!
Listen to that reorchestrated gummy ship theme.
You and that theme, Shine!
The original is kinda bad now.
Bells, 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 bells.
It's like when you hear the Famicom, and it's extra 3 channels of audio. You can't go back to
So,
that
the gummy
American
ship!
NES garbage.
Look at this glorious gummy ship!
if you were Brian at this point, you when it came to those other worlds you couldn't go to right now, you tried your best to go to them, and then I don't remember what world it is that you get locked out of, but I literally would just ram the gummy ship into it just to hear the ding sound.
The gummy ship is so streamlined. There's not that stupid minigame.
No, there is. It's just very selective, man.
But
Oh, you're not. I
to
mean,
continue where we were left off, let's not even call it a master tier list. Let's just call it a Keyblade wielder tier list. All right, and Ericus is at the bottom. Like, literally might be trash tier.
being a Keyblade master, in my opinion, doesn't do diddly dick.
Aqua is probably a tier above him. Why, you may ask? Yes, she is the best character that you have in BBS. But that does not defeat the fact that somehow this girl, who apparently mastered the power to control the darkness within herself, apparently succumbed
There's a
to
difference
darkness.
between controlling the darkness and resisting it.
Again,
Riku controls darkness.
Again, Master Ericus is a shit teacher, which means Aqua is only like two, maybe 3 tiers above him. Wait.
Ventus, Terra, and Aqua, they're
Terra?
like
Garbage.
Ventus, Terra, and Aqua's teaching what they were basically told: darkness is bad. Do not let it into you. Learn to resist it. And then Riku fell to darkness, but then Riku learned, you know what? If I use...
Hey, no, Riku learned how to control that darkness so well. Xehanort literally looked and said, hey, look, we can't touch you. Stay out of our plans.
Also, it's just like...
And Riku was like, no. He's like, damn, oh shit.
To kind of
What
talk
do we do?
about... To kind of talk about the game for a minute, think about this, like, in terms of game design. The last area of the first game is the first area of this game. Just, like, think about that. Also, again, talk about the game. Hey, you remember Trinity Limits and how they were fucking stupid? Yeah, the developers thought so too, and replaced them with puzzle pieces, which are now things you can just pick up. Wait, isn't that the physical wand for Donald?
I don't think.
But just to get into it, regardless of what was said, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, at this point, Master Ericus's grand completion, I guess you could say, of his teachings should literally be a situation where if you go into the world of darkness, you should walk so far, and you should get so far, and eventually you start noticing that things start looking weird. And when things start looking weird, you get closer and closer to the weird thing that you're sensing, and it's literally a giant light bubble that Aqua is just making, preventing the darkness from reaching her.
Why did you equip Donald and Goofy with things? You never upgrade Donald and Goofy.
That, my friends, is why Aqua is only like 2 tiers above Ericus. Because that's not what she's doing.
Wow, it's weird seeing Scrooge was that design.
This weird
In terms of Terra, we can't say much about Terra other than he's bad. We're not going to say much about Vin because he's untrained.
Isn't the side quest basically this game's equivalent to the Dalmatian side quest?
No, there's just...
No, you just dialogue you talking about.
What was this again? I don't remember.
So, to ruin that weird thing, as you play through Kingdom Hearts 2, if you periodically go back to Scrooge, his ice cream will get better until he remembers how to make sea salt ice cream, and when he remembers, I do believe you get a random item out of it, but it's just this weird side thing.
That's a noise that will never get old to me.
Give me strength.
Sora and Goofy do the fusion dance.
Yeah, I should explain how... I should explain basically... Well, we should explain how forms
Look
work.
at this guy.
Essentially,
Look at this guy.
Essentially, basically, forms, and because you have one for
Oh
Goofy,
my god.
it's kind of...
Why are you still in this form in this cutscene?
Because
These are rendered in real time.
the real time...
It carries over whichever costume you're in that scene. Except for anti-form.
The real-time rendered cutscenes keep your costume.
Who said that? Oh no! Jailbait!
Jailbait.
Oh yeah.
Hey, she has an actual kind of normal costume.
I was hoping it was gonna do that.
Oh, well, it did it.
Anyway, the way forms work, basically, you have drive points. The more drive points you have, the
Hey, it's a
longer-
good example to show off
The more drive points you have, the longer you can stay in a form. This is Valor form because Sora does the fusion dance with Goofy. Valor form is essentially the big power form. It's for the big damage.
It's the meathead form. It means beat things in the face.
Yeah.
Yes.
Looks like you're doing okay.
He had 2 keyblades,
Why? Because
bud.
Goofy is the strength guy.
Goofy's the knight.
Great.
Hey,
But you
Yuffie,
were a paladin,
have
though.
you seen the king and Riku?
Nope.
Yeah, I can say a lot about Wrigley.
I love that real-time cutscene thing.
I'd see you guys again.
You know, I said her costume.
Look at Jailbait being Jailbait.
You know, I said her costume is mostly normal,
Hey.
but a belt is just hanging off the
That
side
is
of
the,
her
look
pants.
at that! Look at that imitation of Captain Petty. Oh no!
That was. This is the best. This is the closest character they've got him.
Come on.
You know,
What are you talking about?
Yuffie is exactly like she's in Final Fantasy 7.
You know, I said at
I
first.
mean, I guess if you know,
At first,
I don't know, man. We're missing that part of Luffy where she sits there and lets you beat her up 10 times just so you can go through a cutscene of where she steals all of your money. Until you figure out how to prevent her from stealing all of your money.
Meet the Hollow Bastion Restoration Committee.
We missed you.
It's
Oh,
dead!
God.
It's dead!
You ain't in top shape.
We missed you.
and as soon as Squall's on screen in Linkin Park just starts blasting in the background. I would say to do that editing joke, but the record company that owns them is incredibly notorious for taking their music down, so don't do that.
We were asleep.
But if
Also,
I
can I
speed
just
it
say
up,
Eh,
Also, guys,
No,
can I just say
no,
how
it's-
OP it is to have the power to literally make tamper
great.
with someone's memories so
Everyone's
much
together
that
again.
it basically erases them from everyone else's
You're trying to
memories?
find Riku and the king.
That's her power.
Have you seen him?
She doesn't just affect Sora's memory. She affects Sora's memories and everyone in contact with Sora's memories.
Wasn't
Sorry.
there a guy in Bleach that
She
did
could
that?
make Xemnas forget that Sora exists.
Wasn't there a guy?
OP!
Wasn't there a guy in Bleach that did that? I can't remember. Was that filler?
Oh god, no, stop.
No, like no,
He actually altered the past.
You mean like nobody?
I.
No!
His power was self-insert OC,
Sounds like you could use
and
all
he
that.
self-inserted himself into your past.
Which then, as you find out,
Which
actually...
means that he could actually affect the past. Which means he can
Why
do
did
stuff like fix your Zanpakuto.
Why did we choose Squall?
Like we're gonna say
With me.
no?
Again, we needed.
I felt like we wanted to have the Cloud Zetharoth thing so bad that we sat down and said, well, we can't put Cloud in there.
So we needed another emo replacement.
But Squall is like the furthest thing from emo in this
And
game.
Yeah, because all he does is basically sit there and act like he's the big guy.
And yeah,
But he is.
The big guy.
and you want to know what another over power is?
Then we have Aerith, whose voice actress is barely trying.
Right on time.
Fucking Merlin.
Why can't you do
Sora and
more?
the gang said they're gonna help
What do you
out.
mean? He does plenty.
Splendid. We'll count on you.
Like, show you the Book of Pooh Bear.
Right.
And no,
Yes.
not Pooh Bear, the artist.
Oh,
Why does she sound so phoned in?
here.
Here,
Presents for you.
I'm gonna try not to get stabbed in this game.
That voice actress.
Can we all agree that that's fundamentally bad?
Restoration
I mean,
Committee
Aqua is
honorary
pretty
member.
bad in Birth by Sleep, but she got better in Point 2.
What?
Everyone's pretty much convinced that Ventus Terra and Aqua's voice actors' first time
Hey,
ever
thanks,
doing
Leah.
voice work was Birth by Sleep. Point 2 is at least, somewhat
Oh,
better.
no, we're supposed to be at the Bailey.
One of the translators for Capcom played a character in one of the Resident Evil games, but I can't remember which game it was. I think it was someone in 3.
Aerith's voice, though, it's so phoned in.
Well, again, remember, this of course started to get phased out on like the PS2 era for the most part, but remember, most voice actors from like the N64 and PS1 era were the janitor. Most people's voice actors were just the janitor.
Yes,
cheating.
What the hell did you do?
He saved his drive for him.
Oh.
So if you leave a world while you're in drive form, you get all your drive back.
That's broken.
Wow! Fucking Aqua.
Did you just map Blizzard, Blizzard, and Blizzard?
I mean, I don't have any other magic.
Yeah, what else is he gonna use on those spaces?
Come on, you got this.
Good
Yeah.
job, Donald.
This is why double jump should just be a standard move.
Hey, to go back on
Hey,
to
double jump sucks in Kingdom Hearts until you play, point 2.
There were just
Because there's only 3 games it's present in, and it sucks in Birth by Sleep because it's so situational because Aqua can't move in midair. So I'm like, am I just supposed to have a stagnant jump? I'm supposed to jump as close to a wall as possible so I can grab on when I don't reach it.
Cartwheel.
there are
and
certain
then-
game design conventions you should do.
Then
that-
Riku gets double jump in 3D, and I'm like, why the hell do you have double jump in a game where I can just endlessly wall jump? That is literally the dumbest thing. At least Air Glide has like a couple of instances where it's better, because sometimes you don't have walls on your left and right, so you can glide straight. But you know what? If there's a path up, that means there's a wall, which means there's no reason I should be double jumping because it's still a stagnant double jump. So you just jump straight up. Point 2, somebody said, what if you can move when you jump? So you know what? If you're moving, you double jump, Aqua has momentum and goes forward. Sorry.
He's very passionate about that.
The double jump is dumb in Birth by Sleep. It serves no purpose.
But it's the best in Dream Drop Distance, because who needs flow motion when I can awkwardly double jump? Am I right?
Y'all could go over to my channel. We're gonna do an extensive Valor run. Where we make our Valor build 100% meathead, go on full strength. We'll push all the damage.
That's not unviable.
Suddenly
No,
that
it is not unviable.
Suddenly that
If
one
anything,
point of
it's-
strength at the beginning of the
if
game doesn't
anything-
seem so dumb now, does it?
What do you mean? Again, it's
Also-
1 point.
But that would make the meathead build more meathead.
By
It
8
doesn't
points!
do anything else.
But you will deal with more damage.
And if anything, at the end of the day, guess how we're playing this game? Meathead.
Oh,
The only time you use magic is when the game literally looks at you and says you have to.
actual tip for Kingdom Hearts 2 and Final Mix, Valor Form levels up based on the individual hits it does.
So,
Yeah.
drive forms don't drive forms level up as you saw. Because I actually got level up. Level ups give you an extra drive form gauge when you're in the form, which just means when you go into the form,
It lasts
you have
longer.
a longer time. It gains experience, which you can see here. The level cap actually depends on the drive forms you have. Right now, forms can only go to level 3. So, I mean, until I get wisdom form, I can't go any higher.
In case anyone was confused, Sean pronounces the word gauge as gauge. Just
And so,
just let him have it.
And so, Valor form gains a point of experience every time you hit an enemy. That's just, you meathead things, and you get XP.
What did it say? What's Auto Valor?
Auto Valor. If I get dropped to critical health, I will get a reaction command and instantly go into Valor form.
If you have the points for it.
If I have the points and Goofy for it. So if I'm in a fight and
So
don't
if
have enough
Goofy
drive
is
points,
dead,
or if Goofy is dead or just not there, I can't do it. But it can save my butt sometimes.
yeah, I like the concept of drive forms, but as you'll
Yeah, I don't think
see,
you can get that.
as you'll see later on,
You're
when
gonna finagle it.
as you'll see later on, as we get more drive forms.
Also,
I like the concept of them, but I feel the
I
execution.
was thinking doing the wrong way.
Yeah, I am.
I like the execution of well, the idea of
Hey,
drive
dog got a level about it.
I was looking to see, because if I have a skateboard, I can get that one.
Basically, what I was going to say, I like the idea of drive forms, but I feel the execution is kind of dumb in a lot of regards.
I think that drive forms could have been an opportunity for this game to have builds.
Well, that's kind of what the idea is, but that leads to what the big problem is, which it's a...
I thought
Which
there
is
was a
Final
skateboard
Form,
in
which
this
is
part
that
of the
Final
map.
Form is just better. Yes, you are correct. And Master Form makes no sense.
Master Form makes no sense.
Well,
I mean, what,
save it for when we get there.
At the end of the day, Master Form is the literally worst Final Form.
Correct. Well, actually, so the one thing Master Form has is that it lasts longer. That being said, nobody uses... The only two forms people ever use in speedrunning are Wisdom and Final.
Mm-hmm.
And normally, they go to Wisdom. Because Final Form does more damage, but consumes so much drive so fast. The only boss
It's the Super Saiyan 3 of drive forms.
The only boss that I ever see Final Form used on is Vexen, and that's because Vexen's really allergic to fire.
So much so that the...
Ooh, you missed!
Don't worry, I got a couple more chances at that one.
Oh my god.
You're actually doing this.
This is great.
It is.
Because I can get it. No!
Yeah, I know.
I also went from the wrong angle, so that's okay. Looks like I got 6 more chances to do it.
This is great.
I got less than that, I guess.
Yeah, that's a bitch and a half to get at this point. I've
Just
seen...
wait.
He's already committed, Carson. There's no going back.
Okay, I got one more chance at this.
No turning back. We were born to dream. In a world we can see, we can never
Like
get
a
reach.
fuse, he's a rocket and he's ready to blow. And now the countdown started and he's ready to go.
Oh, no.
Damn.
He's got the dope sound pumping in the stereo. Yo.
I'm gonna probably try it again, but I don't want to lose my
Cool
point.
ass, put it on his shelf.
Kicking ass fast.
What? What?
That song.
What about it?
Kicking ass fast.
Yeah.
Put it on the show.
Look at that.
Hey, those are actually lyrics in it? I didn't know that.
Yes!
I didn't know that.
Yes!
Come on and get
Is
yourself
that the
together.
reason
There's no time
Nintendo
for
didn't
this.
put it in Brawl?
Yes.
We want to restore Hollow
Wait,
Bash to what
really?
it used to be.
I thought it was a weird licensing thing.
I'm pretty sure it was licensing and the fact that,
Come
that
on
the
and
word
get yourself
ass is in
together.
it.
There's no
There's still
time
a
to
lot
rest.
to
As
do.
you put the time in, what
But
you
I'm
feel
sure
the
we can
test.
handle
It's like a
everything.
running man in this world. More is less, and if you want to test
For
him,
that.
Best,
bring
bring
your
your best.
Don't make me spell
So I
that
just want
out.
to point out,
Bring your best.
that was literally a sea of Heartless.
Yes. Yes, it is.
And Leon's like, look at those heartless, look at those shadows and jumpsuits.
Those are nobodies.
Well, that's good to hear.
Well, good thing they're not imported.
So
no, I
sorry.
mean, that's what
Do you
they're
know what's
called.
going on then?
No, I know what I said.
This guy.
I know what I said.
Yeah.
Also, can I comment that Leon has a belt, and belt on his arm?
Yeah.
Those are his grip belts.
Yeah, and
you
he
know?
has zippers going down
You
his
know-
legs.
You know how people put on the weight belt when they do squats?
Seriously, look at his pants legs. He can zip his pants legs up and down.
You're doing
Why
well.
would you want to unzip your pants? And not in that way.
Because in the summer, you need to be cool, but you're still wearing your long pants.
What kind of douchebag does that?
It's time for the question of the day, my overall thoughts on the topic. So anyway, what do you guys think of drive forms? In my opinion, drive forms being on a timer ultimately limits their overall usefulness and utility. Yes, they make you more powerful, but Master Form and Final Form are just better than Valor Form and Wisdom Form. However, speedruns favor Wisdom Form due to it lasting longer. But if the Drive forms had been designed like Final Fantasy job classes, each Drive form could have given Sora a unique set of skills that radically change his stats, letting you have different strengths and weaknesses, overall making Kingdom Hearts 2 work like a Final Fantasy game with job classes, where each job class favors different attributes, letting you have far more control over your moveset. But the way Drive forms ultimately end up working, you transform into a form that gives you a temporary boost, radically changing your stats as long as you're in this form, but once the transformation runs out, you're forced to be regular Sora, making any kind of build or stat change more or less impossible, simply because most of the time you will not be able to use a Drive form in this game. You have to use regular Sora, meaning you're not really allowed to build a physical or magic build, simply because the game is not designed around Sora permanently having these stat changes in the way he could if they worked like a job class change in a more traditional Final Fantasy. I know that was a bit wordy, but I think it does speak for my overall point that a job class type system could have made the game far more unique and interesting. But anyway, you can leave your thoughts, opinions, and answers in the comments, or you can leave them on social media. All my social media links are in the video description. Now, as always, I need to be a shill for a minute. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and leave some comments. If you want to keep up with our videos, hit the subscription button and ring the notification bell. And if you follow me on social media, that helps our communities grow. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video. See you all next time.